What do I fix? Yeah, I fix it. Child, I don't even go live like I used to, cause baby, I don't have time. So, but check this out. I'm gonna keep this short and brief. Because for one, let me just say this: we need to learn to be mature enough to agree to disagree. Everybody is not going to agree on the subject. Everybody's not going to see the subject the same way. Sometimes, hey, Liv, sometimes, and hear me good, sometimes there's no right and wrong. Sometimes that's just perception, and that's just what it is. And I think a lot of times we do not pay attention that we can be mature enough to see things from a different perception. You understand? So let me say this, and this is my last time speaking my opinion based upon this subject, because I feel like something only stays alive if you give it attention. It happened, let it pass. These are these people's personal life. But I know so many people who are faced with different type of things like this, and one thing that I do see big in this situation is black women saying, that's right, protect the black woman, protect the black woman, protect the black woman, protect the black woman. So I think I might hurt a couple of feelings when I say what I'm about to say, and that's fine, because I think that we need to understand something about a black. I think somebody needs to be honest for a second, and this is just my opinion. I think that some things for us are not something that we need to be saved from, protected from, because truth of the matter is, it's more dangerous to involve ourselves in it than it is for us to back out and say it's not even worth it. And I think one thing that I can say for black women, especially coming from the hood, is we sometimes don't seem to know how to walk away, how to let things not be a big deal. I'm not speaking on every black woman. I'm not speaking on everybody. I'm not saying that black women don't get attacked. I'm a black woman and I get attacked. But what I am saying also is that we feel that we have to respond and go to war with everything, and we don't. Case in point also is sometimes we feel like that we have to put our men in certain situations. Hear me, as a mature woman, which means there are things that I avoid to avoid the men that I love from being involved in something that I don't need them to be involved in. We have young women, especially black women, that want to go get their man to make them get into stuff that is unnecessary. There are so many women that have caused men to be, like you say, in jail, locked up, because we honestly think that that's what they're supposed to do. They need to run and save us. They need to speak up. They need to say something. And it becomes a pressure on a man to validate our feelings. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is this. Me personally, I would not, and I mean clearly, would not respond to certain things to have my man to feel like he has to respond to make me feel better about certain things. Hear me and don't misunderstand me. That's even with things that hurt my feelings deeply. People have said things that hurt my feelings deeply. You get me? People have said things that hurt me deeply. And I say, okay, do I need to go get him? Because if I go get him, or I involve him, now I'm putting him into a position to respond where I may put him in a bad situation. You get what I'm saying? Where his response may cause a reaction. And I don't want him to throw his life away, do jail time, get into a fist fight, go to war with somebody over something that I could have maturely, hear me, I could have maturely walked away from. That's for one. That's just me. Okay? And I had to grow to be that. Also, and I want to say this firmly, and I need y'all to hear me, because I'm only speaking out of love. I'm honestly speaking out of love. I feel like there is honestly a double standard when it comes to protection. Hey, I made a video, and see, this is why I know I'm not a biased person. When the entanglement situation came out, I made a video. You know why I made a video? Because it was jokes and funny, and women were applauding, oh, she was in the entanglement, oh, men do it all the time, or it's no big deal. And we watched Will Smith seem to be broken in front of the whole nation. When he sat on Raid Table Talk with her, the hurt and the pain of him was displayed for the world to see. And it was no sympathy for him. So my question is, if we are going to make a strong stance to protect the black woman, we have to make a stronger stance to protect the black man. Because there is no way that it should be acceptable when he is broken and he is hurting and there is no protection for him. Absolutely none. So when people was like he didn't have that same energy for August, how could he have the energy for August when she was sleeping with August? What sense would it have made for him to go and put himself in the shoes to get into it with August when she entered into an entanglement? But where was the call for therapy and support and the wrongdoing of slaughtering the image, ego, and masculinity of a man nationwide? Nationwide. So what I'm trying to get us to understand is this. From a perspective in which I stand, and this is me, and I'm going to leave it alone. I felt like a man felt like he was forced to do what he did. That's what I feel. I felt like a man was trying to be mature and brush something off, and looking at his wife made him feel like, no, you can't laugh this off. You got to do something. And so he went and did something to appease her. That's what I feel. But this is what I'm saying, Rodney. I get it was about her disease. Do you hear me? But listen to me, and listen to me good. When you feel like something is more detrimental than the other, that's a perception based upon a person. Because guess what? There are some people, and I'm speaking on my opinion, who feel like just as hurtful as a disease is, especially when it's not a deadly disease, is the same way you cheating on me being embarrassed feels. We have to stop putting it as if hurt has a boundary based on what it is. Cheating and a marriage being broken it can cause the same amount of hurt as low self-esteem, not loving yourself, or a medical condition. We think, oh, this is worse than that, right? We put our perception on this is worse and that ain't as bad, or this ain't as bad. When we as people need to understand the hurt of people varies. And because you feel like this ain't something to be hurt enough about, but this is, that's what makes us attack people. I think that if we don't understand that hurting people of both sexes should be important, we have to understand something. We have to understand. Because listen to me, and I'm going to say this with all honesty. The reason why I'm not as pushed like some people, and it seems that people are upset with me because of my opinion, is because I didn't watch the outrage for cancer like this. I did not watch when Chadwick Boseman was clowned for losing weight. Nobody said, oh, he had cancer, because we didn't know, right? We didn't know. I have watched comedians manhandle people's public hurt. I have watched it. Let me tell you something. We pick and choose when we want to be outraged. That's a fact. Because let me tell you why I feel like that. And this is just my personal feelings, if Will Smith was white and he got up and smacked Chris, I really don't think it would be even that it would be different. We respond different based upon certain statuses. Because they're two black men is wrong. Because he was protecting a black woman is wrong. You get it? But Donald Trump, and I'm not a fan of his, just because we hated him, we massacred his wife. We massacred her past, right? We took her pictures in which she was a stripper and spread it all over the world, and it was funny and it was laughable. What I'm saying is, I'm not biased on either side. I'm not taking Will's side. I'm not taking Jada's side. I'm talking about people and the outrage of people when it comes down to us picking and choosing. For me, I'm not in Will's shoes and I'm not in Chris' shoes. You know why? Because Will responded as a husband and Chris acted as a comedian. And both of them were right in the shoes in which they stood in. Do you get what I'm saying? So as a comedian, he made a joke. As her husband, he felt like he protected her. So I have no stance on who was right and who was wrong, because they both stood in the position in which they have always stood in. Because we said the joke was distasteful. Another thing I disagree with. That's another thing I disagree with. That's what I'm saying. I feel like the joke was actually a compliment because he saw her and felt like that's a role she could play. I also know that anything that's said on the stage in the Oscars is something that has to be cleared. Right. Well, I'm not agreeing that he should have put his hands on him. No, that's not what I'm agreeing with at all. I didn't mean it in that manner. He was wrong for putting his hands on him. I guess what I'm saying is he felt like he had to take a stand as a husband. I cannot say he was right or wrong for feeling like he had to do something as a husband. You putting your hands on somebody I disagree with. But you felt like you had to take a stand for your wife. You felt like as a comedian you made a joke. But I need people to understand something. You know why? Because when Dave Chappelle was being blackballed by Netflix, we supported him. Why? Because we felt like, oh, it's comedy. The transgender can't feel like they off limits. So we're saying, well, this is a medical condition. So is Magic Johnson's AIDS. But we have been talking about Magic Johnson's AIDS as in comedy for years. So is cancer. But people be like, girl, she was bald head like a cancer patient for years. For years. Whitney and her husband were strung out on drugs, and it was the joke for years. Michael Jackson was accused of molesting children, and it was the butt joke for years. So I guess that's all acceptable to be funny, right? Right? Bill Cosby is accused of drugging and raping women. But it's alright for that to be a joke. And it's been a joke for years. Tiger Woods lost his whole family, went spiraling out of control, lost his career, went to drinking and losing his mind, lost his kids and lost his family. He was the butt joke. I'm trying to get, when do y'all draw the line? Because people, medical conditions been an issue. People been used. People been used. People been used. People's hurt, listen to me, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off. People's hurt have been the entertainment for us for years. It have been. That's why comedians fill out arenas. Yes, people have become comfortable to say things out their mouth and don't want no consequences, right? Or expect people to react. But I'm talking about comedy. I'm not talking about a person walking up to you in your face and disrespecting your space and just telling you anything. I'm talking about comics who are on stage. So we have to differentiate that level of comedy. And if you want to do comedy, when you go all the way back to Richard Pryor and Red Fox, their mouth was unfiltered. Always was unfiltered. On stage. Always. And we bought their tickets. When we went seeing Dave Chappelle, nothing was off limits. When we went seeing Arsenio Hall went to war with the LGBT community because he said, I could talk about the handicap, I could talk about everybody, but when it comes down to the LGBT community, you want me to not talk about you when nobody is off limits, right? And we applaud them. Yes, this is comedy. So what's the difference? Because a comic and the level of a comic is different. He's put on stage, and the only reason we even know who Chris Rock is because he's a legendary comedian. And I think that we want to throw that away to make a person accountable for their profession. I'm going to say this. I was faced with something the other day that hurt me. We ready? You ready?
Yeah, so I'm going to come out to get his shit.
All right.
Pen.
All right. All right. I was faced with something the other day where I was slaughtered. That's all I can say. I was slaughtered. But guess what? That's what they do. I am a firm believer in standing for black women, right? But I feel like if we don't have the same energy for our men, if we don't have the same energy when it comes to certain things, we cannot be picky and choosy. Oh, because this is too sensitive. That is too sensitive, because it's always going to be left up to perception. Always. And when you have a person who's in a profession that we have okayed, applaud, and sold tickets out for hundreds of years, and then now all of a sudden he's going too far because she's sensitive about her medical condition, when you have people that have died from AIDS, you have people that have died from cancer, they talk about the dead on stage, and that's not sensitive to us. That's not sensitive. I watched a man, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave this alone. I watched a man not respond to a joke. I watched a man feel like he was pushed to respond. That's what I feel. I watched a man, because if I'm going to tell you this, if the entanglement situation didn't happen, If him feeling like he had to watch his mama beat and he didn't do nothing and feel, like as he said, I feel like I didn't do anything. If he would have dealt with those things, I don't think he would have hit him. He hit him on behalf of feeling like, I don't know no other word to say, but a punk. He felt like he is a punk. He felt like he walked away one too many times, and this time he couldn't walk away. He had to respond. Simple and plain. If you read his book, he wrote in his book that he is overwhelmed because he feels like he was a pushover. And so Chris Rock took the slap of the disrespect of countless of years. And if y'all think that's okay because a black woman is suffering with self-esteem, then hey, you're entitled to your feelings. But I promise you, that slap wasn't about that joke. But because she suffers with alopecia, we want to make it okay for Chris Rock to take the beating of something that he harbored inside of him for many years. He didn't feel like he protected his family enough. His children were slaughtered across the internet for wearing dresses in a weird way that they dressed and talked. And guess what? He may have been laughing. He was laughing before the joke. Right? Now I see you say, that's not the time to show out. Listen to me. When you harvest something, and this is something I have taught many times, you can't say when your bomb is going to explode. We want people to not be human. Let me tell you something. You hold something in for so long and not deal with it. When it comes out, don't try to predict when it's going to come out. Don't try to predict when it's going to come out. That's why you see people at a funeral clicking out. That's why you'll see people slap somebody in church. That's why you'll see somebody at a grave site and click out on somebody. You know why? Because a person, anything that you don't deal with will deal with you. So we say, oh, the Oscars ain't the place. Oh, this ain't the place. Oh, that ain't the place. You don't know when hurt is going to come to a head. And when hurt comes to a head, I can promise you, and I've been in these shoes, you ain't going to care who or where you are. Period. Y'all want me to care about being at the Oscars. People want me to care about I got on a tuxedo. People want me to care that grandma's right there. And I ain't got no care left. And when you push a person to not have no care left, when you push a person to feel like I gotta respond because this is my perception and this is how I felt when I saw it. I felt like he laughed at a joke till he saw his wife hurt, and he's been pushed to do something about his family's hurt for so long that he felt like he had to do something. I felt like his manhood was challenged, his fatherhood was challenged, his husband roles was challenged because of the way he responds, because he's actually a man that tries to control himself. You gotta, if you looked at the Red Table Talk when him and Jada talked, and Jada hit him with a newspaper or a magazine when they were fussing, he told her in a very stern way, don't ever do that again. He said, I will leave you if you do that again, because I watched my mother beat. And she thought it wasn't that serious, and he was willing to leave his marriage because he did not want physical altercations. That's what he didn't want. I saw a man backed into a corner and feel like he had to do something because he doesn't respond the way the world's gonna respond. Everybody was like, oh, he should have did something. Oh, what kind of man are you? Oh, this is how you should respond. And a person is saying, that's not me. That's not how I do things. I learned, listen to me. I learned and still is learning to be cognizant about what I entertain when I'm around the men I love, my brothers, the man I'm dating, my sons, because when a man feels like he has to protect the woman he loves, a door is open where you may end up losing him because he may hurt somebody for protecting you. And I don't ever want to feel like somebody said something about me, and so my man threw his career away, threw his life away, showed his anger on the greatest day of his night because of my feelings. I will cry in private, and I will let him revalidate me and say, you are beautiful and I love you. But what I don't want you to do is go out there, and I'm speaking to a lot of black women who, when they get into it with men or they fuss or they have a problem, they quick to say, I'm going to go get my brother, I'm going to go get my cousin, and you may be calling them to their death. You may be calling them to throw their life away to jail. You may be calling them to get hurt very bad because you pissed off at the moment. And after you call them and they go get involved or they fight somebody or hurt somebody or get hurt, you look up and realize you can't stop nobody from saying what they said. If every comedian right now gets on stage and talks about Jada Pinkett's alopecia, and I pray that they don't, you tell me that Will is going to get up and smack every one of them. No, he has to validate his wife and say, babe, they are jerks, they are assholes. We're going to do our best to stop people from talking about it, but guess what? I have to revalidate you because I can't control nobody else. I can't. If a man comes in your personal space, if we're at a party minding our business, if we're somewhere in the store with our family, and a man comes in your face and tries to disrespect you and hurt your feelings, yes, I'm going to take a stand for you. But a comic being on stage at the Oscars, at the Emmys, has always thrown jokes, whether they are at stand-up comedy or anywhere else, to people in the audience. That's the truth. We have to. We live in an ugly world, and we can't just try to stop people from talking about us without also trying to teach us to be stronger, because people are going to talk. Our children are killing themselves because we feel like they are getting bullied. And I'm not saying that bullying is right, but I'm also saying that I got to revalidate you. If I gotta revalidate you because I can't stop every child from talking about you. I can't. I can't stop everybody from saying what they want to say. And the truth of the matter is, there's so many people who called her beautiful. There's so many people who called her beautiful. But let me tell you a truth that we deal with as women. As many people that could tell us as we're beautiful, as many people that could tell us, hey, you know, you look great and you're going to be great. That one person that says we're not strikes a nerve in us because we're struggling with believing it. Nicki Minaj said something the other day, and I think it was to Ira Lennox. She said, have tunnel vision on the love. There are so many people who love Jada, who is sensitive to her alopecia. Truth be told, I didn't know she had alopecia. And I heard today that Chris didn't know, right? But what I'm saying is, there's so many people that let Jada know she's beautiful. She's wonderfully made. She's a great actor, right? And there's some people who are not going to feel like that. So as great as Jada feels like she's an actor, there's somebody who's going to feel like she's a piss poor actor. And as sensitive as she may be to her career, that's what's going to take place. And if somebody's on the stage and be like, hey, I don't think Jada's the best actor. Boom, that's their opinion. But a person walking up to Jada and coming like, you're not a good actor, that's two totally different things. There's going to be somebody who don't understand your sensitivity. Listen to me, y'all. I almost lost my life, and I have broke down crying in the car because people have walked up to me and watered down my accident in my face. And I checked it in my face. But guess what? I seen certain comments, and I'm sitting there like I'm suffering with this. But I can't stop them from saying what they're going to say. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to block them. I'm going to block them. Because I can't allow their opinion to do what it's doing to my self-esteem. I'm already fighting my self-esteem. I'm already doing it. I'm already fighting it. I thought that was their call. I love black women. Ooh, excuse me. I support black women on a level that many of my followers know. They are, and that's what I'm saying. There are going to be so many people who do not, absolutely do not care. I want to build up people to be sensitive to people. I really do. But I also know that we have to have the same consistency. Right? We have to have the same consistency. Because what I saw more than anything was not the fact that a woman's feelings was hurt. I saw a broken man. And what's scary is we are talking more about her hurt feelings than his brokenness. Because contrary to what we want to believe, yes, Jada's feelings was hurt. And yes, she's suffering with her alopecia now that I went right up on it. But I watched the man for the last couple years be broken publicly and embarrassed. And I found him feel like he has to be politically correct and make amends and apologize and explain. And I feel like the brokenness of a man, especially a black man, is not important enough to us. It's not. I have watched this man cry. I have read this man's books. I have watched his seminar. I have watched this man try to be the model in which we contain. That's supposed to be leadership. And I've watched the hurt. I've read his book. And it's hurtful because if you read his book, you would understand. You would understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. We saw a moment of an example of hurt manifested. As a black woman, I know what I hear means. I know what it means. It does say a lot. I know. I feel, and this is just my opinion, based upon what we know, okay? Because again, there are things behind the scene that we don't know. But based upon what we know, I see two broken people. And I think that it's pretty unfair to make one's hurt more than the other. This man has been ignored. His work has been ignored. They went to boycott the Oscars in 2016 because she felt like his work was ignored. This man had to watch himself, his work, overlooked. I watched it. Let's care about, hear me. Let's care about all involved. All involved. I care about Jada as a black woman. I hate to see whatever she may be dealing with, because just like we said, that man is her comforter, right? That man is the one that comforts her. We don't know the pain that she's dealing with his low self-esteem. We don't know how he has to protect her, right? Oh, it was her work? I thought it was because of the movie he played about the doctor with the concussion. When he played the football, the football, maybe I had it wrong, but he comforts her, right? He protects her, right? We don't know the hurt that she shows at home, right? That's the perception that we are having. But can I give y'all just a different perception for a second? Oh, we don't know if that's going on at all. We don't know if this man is faced, and I hate to say it, and the only reason I'm saying it is because I know this exists in some people's homes because I saw it. We don't know if he's being bullied at home to feel like he's not doing enough. What are you doing to protect me? We may feel like he's constantly having to coddle her for her feelings when we don't know if she's mentally and physically abusing him. Yes, black women have been cutting their hair off for years, but I lost my hair to an accident. And me cutting my hair voluntarily compared to my hair being burned off because of something going on is two totally different things. Two totally different things. So what I'm saying is we don't know if this man felt bottled in a corner. Do y'all remember John Q? Y'all don't remember the distinct moment when John Q went and got the gun to hold the hospital hostage? Who was the last person he talked to that pushed him to feel like you ain't doing enough? I think that we see this movie so much, but what we ignored out that movie with John Q was that from the time that movie started, his wife was unhappy about what he was providing because they were struggling. The beginning of the movie, her car got repoed. And she was like, what's going on, John? He is like, I'm at work. He said, I'm working 20 hours at the job. I'm doing it. They cut the hours. What you want me to do? I had to pay the rent. I pay the car note, babe. I'm doing my best. Right? And she was like, my car is gone. It didn't matter what he was doing to try to keep their house afloat. Her car was gone. Right? And he still went comforting her. He was like, babe, it's going to be all right. I'm going to get your car back. He raised money. He went, applied for HMOs. He was applying for different jobs. He sold everything in the house. He put his pride down. He was out there asking people to do news specials and everything to raise the money to help his son. And he gave the hospital 20 bands, and they told her they're going to release him. And you know what she did? She called him and she said these words. You're always taking care of it, John, but it's never enough. Now you need to do something. And I need to speak to women. We have that power. I'm telling you, we have that power. And I don't think that we realize we have that power. I don't think we realize that. A good man, lowest point, when he feels like he can't protect and provide his family. A lowest point of a man, a real man, is when he feels like he cannot protect and provide for his family. And I'm going to say this, and then I'm really getting off. I will go, hear me, to the gutter with a man who is willing to go to war with me in this thing we call life. If he's putting everything he got and I'm putting everything I got, and we fighting together, I will live in a cardboard box with you. I will do everything, not only for you to protect me, but for me to watch what you have to protect me from. I will do everything to make sure we're steadfast and prayed up. We're human. Yes, we're going to fall apart. But my thing is this: a real man at his lowest point does not need the beating down of what he can't do from the woman he's trying to do it for. Because his whole mission is to do it for you. His whole mission is to do it for you. And men will love a woman with his whole heart. Because we talk about the hurt of women all the time. But truth of the matter is, I have watched men love a woman with their whole heart and get cheated on, get disrespected, get left. He got more money, he got this and he got that. And what kills me is, the truth of the matter is, we make excuses when it's women. We make excuses when it's women. A woman gets lied to, get cheated on, get hurt, and we need to encourage and we need to uplift and we need to provide. But when a real man is backed into a corner at his lowest, trying to do everything to be the man that he was built to be, there is not as much encouragement. If anything, there's more pressure. You got women that tell women, you stupid if you have a man and you need money. As if men every day aren't losing jobs. A man shouldn't smile in your face if he don't have nothing to offer. As if a man and a woman, as if a man is exempt from crumbling. Can we for once stop making our men machines and let them be human? Because when they finally do burst out and show their human side, it's not pretty. It is not pretty. I promise you, a man that I love, my father, my brother, my son, the man that I'm dating, I strategically watch how I move. Listen to me. And I'm not trying to speak. Hey, big brother, I'm not trying to speak for everybody, and try to throw no darts. But I watch the way I dress. I watch the way I carry myself around other men. I watch the way I encounter certain conversations with other men. Because I don't want to put my man, my brother, my father in a compromising situation. So if it ever comes where they have to defend me or stand up for me, I can say, guess what? I checked my feelings. I checked myself. I watched how I move, because the last thing I want is for my man to be out here fighting somebody. The last thing I want is for my brother to be fighting somebody. The last thing I want is for my father to be having to fight somebody over what? So as a woman, I watch myself. I watch myself on purpose. There are things that hurt my feelings. Many things that have hurt my feelings. And I'll sit in the car and I'll be like, come on, get it together. They just words. I don't want to get in the car and be like, I'm going to get my man because you said this. And go get him, put him in the car, and bring him to an altercation that could cost us everything. Especially when he's destined for greatness. I'm not saying disrespect shouldn't be checked. I'm not saying that a man will allow his woman to be disrespected. I'm saying that I'm going to protect him and his integrity just like I want him to protect me. And sometimes protecting your man's integrity means you got to protect your feelings and check your feelings. Because if I don't check my feelings and I go present my hurt feelings to the man that loves me, he's going to feel obligated to do something about it. He's going to feel compelled. So I got to protect him from himself. I got to unleash him when it's absolutely necessary. Exactly. I cannot allow my man to go out there and risk him, and I don't want to lose him because tell y'all the truth. We got into a car accident. Somebody hit my car and kept going, and we followed them. And when we finally got them pulled over, my old man jumped out the car because the person hit my car, and he had got the gun from under the seat. He was like, "Hold on." I said, "Babe, don't do that." He was like, "Babe, he hit your car. He think he just got." I said, I said, "Don't do that. I'm all right. Look at me. I'm all right. I'm not hurt. I'm okay." I said, "We don't know what you about to walk up on that car. We don't know if that person is drunk. We don't know if it's more than one person in that car. We don't know if they have guns. They hit my car, yes, but my car is still drivable. We can call the police. We can make an insurance claim, and I'm not injured. You don't have to get out. You don't have to. You don't have to do that." He was like, "Man, babe, I feel like that's messed up, babe. It is wrong. But your woman that you're mad about, she right here. I'm here. Look at me. Look, and I have to bring him back. I got to bring you back." I'm here, babe. I'm all right. I don't need you to jump out. I don't need you to react. This ain't one of them moments. I'm a big girl. I'm gonna put my big girl panties on. Yeah, I'm upset. I'm shaking. But I will be more upset if you get out this car and hurt somebody or they hurt you. We gotta protect our men. We gotta protect our men. We cannot have a movement over protect black women, protect black women. We say so many times a man shouldn't stand around and just let a man just do a woman anything or talk to her any kind of way. When I didn't watch women talk to men like they are garbage. Talk to them like they garbage. I walked out of Popeyes because of that. The man was ordering food. The waitress was very rude. Didn't take his order. Didn't acknowledge nothing about him. And he was like, "Ma'am, I'm trying to order my food." She was like, "All right, I'm coming." She was like, "What's wrong with you?" He was like, "Why do you have an attitude?" She was like, "Baby, you could go ahead. You could go ahead." And so she was like, "Miss, can I help you?" I said, "You can't help me." And she was like, "What's wrong?" I said, "Why are you talking to that man like that?" She was like, "Oh, that's your cousin or something?" I said, "No, that's a man, a black man, who was just simply trying to order his food, and he was met with adversity from you for no reason. But if he was a female and you was a black man cussing and talking the way you was cussing, everybody would have wanted to jump on that black man, talk about don't talk to that woman like that. But why are you talking to this man like this? Why is his protection?" Listen to me. I tell my sons this. I tell my son this. I tell my old man this. I tell my brother. I tell my daddy. Listen to me. You not going to handle my daddy, my brother, and them any kind of way. The same way I'm going to tell my brothers, my son, don't put your hand on no woman. You not going to put your hands on him. You not going to treat him any kind of way. Because I'm making my business to tell him don't do it to you. We're not going to be all right with our men just getting manhandled and mistreated. We losing about a dozen. Don't put your hands on my boy. Don't put your hands on my brother. Don't get all in his face. Don't curse at him. Don't provoke him. If he's trying to walk away, let him go. Don't do it. Because they got women in his family who gonna protect him just like I need him to protect me when it's vice versa. And until black men in the urgency of protecting our black men are the same as protecting black women, I do not want to hear this one-sidedness. We want our feelings protected. We wanna be tiptoed around. We want our emotions catered to. But we got the most reckless mouth I have ever seen. Black women have the most reckless vocabulary. When it comes to our children, when it comes to our men, when it comes to teachers, when it comes to business, and we can't say nothing, but we want a movement of protect black women. Every other word gotta be a curse word. Our nerves too bad to have a sensible conversation. Can we do a little bit better with bringing decorum back and ladiness back and honor back to being a black woman, so when we stand and say we need to be protected, somebody could stand in front of us and protect us with dignity? I'm not going to call my brother for every guy that have something disrespectful to say. Baby, I'm ignoring you, because what I'm not about to do is go get my brother, get my old man, get my dad to come out here and fight you because of something you said and enough for him to kill you or you kill him. For what? Baby, you don't matter. We going home, and guess what? If you hurt my feelings, he gonna come for me. He gonna put my head on his shoulder, and guess what he gonna say? Babe, forget what they said, because you are beautiful and I love you. I done been called black. I done been called ugly. I done been called picky head. I done been picked on my whole life. And I had to go to the people that loved me and let them revalidate me while I validated myself, because I can't stop nobody from thinking I'm ugly. I can't stop nobody from thinking I'm picky head. I can't. And it can't be about all races. The only reason I'm speaking more about black races because that's who I be around. I don't really hang around the white race to know where their struggle lies. But I know what I see. Let's do a better job of protecting each other. Please. Let's do a better job. I don't ever want a woman's feelings to be hurt. Y'all know I'm an advocate for women. But I also know that y'all, if we don't get a little bit tougher skin, we ain't gonna get nowhere. We ain't. And I'm sorry. Unless you following me, stalking me, and threatening bodily harm to me, I'm not calling my sister from out of Texas and my other sister and my brother. Man, listen, I am going home. You gonna sit here and talk to yourself. You gonna talk to yourself. You gonna talk to yourself. I'm walking off. I'm not entertaining you. I'm not doing all that. You, baby, listen, you can come on my page talking stupid. Blocked. Not about to do it. And if you said something that hurt my feelings after I block you, that's what I got a man to go in there and cry for and say, babe, you know, this person made a nasty comment towards me and it really hurt my feelings. I need a mature man to be like, what he said, babe? What she said? Man, forget them people, babe. Look at me. Forget them people. You are beautiful. You are this. You are that. Exactly, sis. I know my people gonna step. So I gotta be cognizant of when I call them. And I can't call them every time somebody hurt my feelings. Jada is a beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman. I do not believe that Chris Rock got hit because of that joke. I believe I saw a man who have been bullied, and I can't say from about his wife, but maybe society, maybe life, or maybe even his own thoughts. I saw a man bullied to feel like he had to respond to something that in his natural element he laughed off or brushed off, and he felt compelled to do something. I honestly, even when I seen him on a Red Table Talk, when the stuff came out about August Alsina, nothing about that man's decorum and demeanor to me say he was healthy enough for that conversation. And even in that conversation, she watered down what was done. She was like, when I got in an entanglement with August and he had to check her and look at her and say an entanglement, she was like, yeah, an entanglement. Don't play in that man's face. Don't play in his face when you can see the brokenness of him and what's going on with how he feels. And she sat in his face and looked and was like, yes, it was just an entanglement. And he was like, no, a relationship. She was like, well, that's what I said, a relationship and entanglement. No, that was not the same. I seen a man broken. And I seen him go on interviews, and I seen him writing books trying to get his feelings out. If a man don't respond the way we think other men should respond, then we call them certain things to make them feel pressure like they have to. There are people right now that's clowning Chris Rock. Clowning Chris Rock for not hitting him back because I'm a man. Right? We're saying Jada broke him. But hear me, because we're not in these people's life, but hear me. If you read that man's book, that man been broken since childhood with the same exact feeling. He said he watched his mother beat and he suffered with feeling like he did not do anything about it. This man has been feeling like a pushover since he was a little boy. Since he was a little boy. That I didn't do nothing. And he was taught. He felt like he was taught. To respond a certain way. He said it in his acknowledgement speech. We feel like we got to take disrespect. We feel like we got to take this and take that. Listen to me. Let me get out this coat. We all have a breaking point. All of us. We all have a moment where something pushes us. But God, I pray that you continue to develop me as a woman to be the place of my man's peace. To be the place where I don't be the trigger. I don't want my man to ever feel less than a man. And I'm going to do my best, my man, my brother, my father, to do my best to say, hey, if you didn't respond in this moment, I don't want you to feel less than. I want us to go home so we can figure out what was the best method. Now, if the best method at that moment was we had the roll, hey. Because if somebody coming all in our face and walking up on us, we going to do what we got to do. But baby, if we could go home, if we could take your Oscar and enjoy our night him and his G.I. Jane jokes. As a matter of fact, me and my beautiful bald head, I'm going to take that G.I. Jane Part 2 role and I'm going to slay it. And I'm going to get an Oscar for that role and put it next to your Oscar. That's what we going to do, babe. That's how we going to kill him. Give me that maturity. I want that maturity. Come on. Y'all coming outside? Go ahead. So, all right. I'm going to go that way. Y'all enjoy your night.